What if I told you NFL players once used glue to catch passes, that it's actually illegal to dunk a football, and yes, you can get fined for farting? Let's dive into the craziest NFL rules you didn't know existed. First up, did you know it's illegal to dunk the ball? Back in 2014, Jimmy Graham made dunking his signature touchdown move. It was all fun until he dunked a little too hard. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. He bent the goalpost mid-game, forcing the NFL to introduce the Jimmy Graham rule. Now, any player who dunks or hangs on the crossbar gets a 15-yard penalty and a fine. But Graham wasn't the first to change the rule book. In 1981, cornerback Lester Hayes was so good at interceptions, the league had to stop him. It wasn't just skill, it was stickum. He'd cover his arms, tape, even his socks with it. Every time he needed more, he'd just reach down for a refill. And it worked. 13 interceptions in 1980 and Defensive Player of the Year. Opponents called him the human glue. Eventually, the NFL banned stickum entirely, calling it an unfair advantage. Of course, players just moved on to modern sticky gloves. So much for that fix. Some players always find loopholes. Take the illegal leverage rule. It bans using teammates to launch yourself when blocking a field goal. Pretty obvious, unless you're the 2013 Patriots. When the Jets lined up for a field goal, a Pats lineman shoved his teammate forward to block it. Refs flagged it instantly, enforcing the rule for the first time ever. The Jets got a retry and won the game. I'm surprised Brady didn't flip a table that day. If you can't push your teammates, why not jump over everyone instead? That's what Cam Chancellor did. He hurdled the entire line to block a kick. Clean. But when the NFL saw the highlight, they imagined disaster. A 230-pound safety mistiming a jump, so they introduced the no leaping rule. Now, if you want to block a kick, you'll need LeBron-level hops. Then there's the Raiders, who once pulled off a play so absurd the league invented a rule overnight. In 1978, with seconds left against the Chargers, quarterback Ken Stabler was about to get sacked. Instead of going down, he just threw the ball forward and let chaos unfold. The Raiders kicked and fumbled it into the end zone and scored. It became known as the Holy Roller. The NFL immediately rewrote the rule. In the final 2 minutes, only the player who fumbles can advance the ball. Years later, Stabler finally admitted it. Yeah, I flipped it. What else was I gonna do? Speaking of gas, Von Miller literally got fined for farting. In 2015, the Broncos had one of the toughest defenses ever, and apparently the gassiest. Von was letting loose so often that the team started fining him $100 per blast. He even tweeted, "They can't fine me if I walk away. It's not healthy to hold it in." Bro needed less Chipotle and more Pedialyte. It's officially the smelliest rule in NFL history. Here's one you'll barely believe. During a Bears-Eagles game in 2007, quarterback Brian Grease fumbled a snap under center. It rolled through his legs, and refs blew it dead. Why? Because deep in the rule book it says, if the quarterback is under center, he must be the next player to touch the snap. If anyone else does, it's a false start. Nobody, not even the announcers, had ever heard of that one. The rule was so confusing, the NFL quietly stopped enforcing it afterward. Ever heard of the fair catch kick? Probably not. It's one of football's rarest plays. After a fair catch, a team can line up and attempt a free field goal. No defense allowed. Sounds easy, but it's incredibly situational. In 2024, the Chargers nailed the first successful fair catch kick in 50 years, and the longest ever. Even rarer, the drop kick. Back when footballs were rounder, kickers used to drop the ball and kick it mid-bounce. That died out in the 1940s until Doug Flutie resurrected it in 2006. The crowd lost their minds, and even Belichick smiled. It hasn't been done since, which honestly makes it even cooler. In 2023, Tyreek Hill high-fived a cameraman during a touchdown celebration. The league's response? Ban high-fiving cameramen entirely and suspend the poor cameraman's credentials. The No Fun League strikes again. Back in the early 2000s, players like Ray Lewis and Justin Tuck wore custom face masks that looked straight out of Predator. They weren't just for style, some helped with neck injuries, but the NFL banned them anyway in 2014, citing uniform violations. Guess safety wasn't as important as aesthetics. Even Deion Sanders' signature bandana didn't survive. It became iconic. iconic in the 90s, but the NFL hated it and banned it too. Sometimes the league really is allergic to fun. Then came the Nike Maxite contact lenses, designed to cut glare and improve night vision. Basically, night vision goggles for football. Instead of letting everyone use them, the NFL called them an unfair advantage and banned them outright. Because why make the game better when you can just ban innovation? Now for one of the most infamous rules ever, the tuck rule. It stated that if a quarterback's arm was moving forward when the ball came out, it wasn't a fumble, it was an incomplete pass. That tiny rule changed everything in 2002. During the AFC playoffs, Brady was hit by Charles Woodson and fumbled. Game over, or so everyone thought. Refs ruled it an incomplete pass. Patriots kept the ball, won in overtime, and the legend of Tom Brady began. Even Brady later admitted, yeah, it was a fumble. The NFL finally killed the rule in 2013. The NFL makes players compete in everything: blizzards, floods, even minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. But there's one thing that actually stops a game: lightning. If a strike is detected within 8 miles of the stadium, the game is immediately suspended. Thunder greater than toughness, apparently. In 2021, Calvin Ridley bet $1,500 on his own team while on leave. The NFL suspended him for the entire 2022 season, costing him $11 million. Easiest math in the world: $1,500 bet, $11 million loss. Then there's a new rule made for a rookie. When the Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders in 2025, his contract included a prime equity clause. He gets a cut of jersey sales and brand revenue tied to performance, something no rookies ever had. Of course, it helps when your dad is Deion Sanders. Patrick Mahomes is so valuable, he's literally banned from running quarterback sneaks. After dislocating his kneecap on a simple sneak in 2019, Andy Reid made it official. No more sneaks, no matter the game, no matter the stakes. Ironically, another Brady injury created another rule. After tearing his ACL in 2008 from a low hit, the league introduced the Brady rule: no hits below the knees on quarterbacks. Now, every time a defender breathes too hard on a quarterback, flags start flying. Then came the most frustrating one: the Calvin Johnson rule. It said a catch only counts if the player maintains control all the way through the ground. That robbed Calvin Johnson of a touchdown in 2010 and Dez Bryant in 2014. The backlash was so massive, the NFL had to rewrite the rule completely. Finally, there's Rule 17, the wildest of them all. If a player, coach, or even a fan does something blatantly unfair, the commissioner can literally award a touchdown. It's been used in college, like in 1954, when a benched Alabama player tackled a runner mid-play, and refs just gave the TD anyway. The NFL's seen close calls, like coaches tripping players or stepping onto the field, but the league never actually pulled the trigger. Even during the infamous Saints-Rams no call in 2018, they stayed silent. Rule 17 remains the league's secret nuclear option, one we may never see again. So yeah, glue, goalposts, farts, lightning, and fashion. The NFL has a rule for everything. Some make sense, most don't. But one thing's for sure, the No Fun League always finds a way to live up to its name.